This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Hello and welcome to Corridors of Power. I'm Sanjay Pinto and my guest today is the new man in charge of Satyamurthy Bhavan here of the Tamil Nadu Congress in the state, Mr. B.S. Nyandasegaran. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Good to see you again and good to see you in the chair here. It
Thank
seems
you.
if you look at your followers around, it looks like Satyamurthy Bhavan has come alive after quite some time.
They are not my followers. They are all Congress followers.
Okay, that's interesting because when in the newspapers, when you saw the newspapers and TV channels, as soon as you were appointed, most people described you as a Vasan loyalist. So is this a responsibility or a privilege for you now to head the Congress at a time when it's almost at the crossroads?
The assignment has been given by Congress President Sonia Gandhi ji and Rahul Gandhi ji to unite everybody and take the party together so that the Congress will have a upper hand in Tamil Nadu politics.
Is it easier said than done, sir? At a time when there are so many factions here, the Congress is always known to be ridden with factionalism. There's so many factions here. People say you're a Vasan loyalist. There's a Vasan faction, there's a Chidambaram faction, there's an Ilangovan faction. How many factions are there officially in the Congress?
No, see, even before independence, there were several views and different views. But in spite of that, all were united and then we got the freedom. So in a democratic political party, there used to be differences of opinion. You cannot say that that's our factions. Actually, if there is a different opinions, that opinions to be pulled together, and I should function that I have to take the opinion of everybody. In the interest of the party, I have to work. So the responsibility and onus is on me, not on others.
When you say onus is on you, do you consider this post as a sort of crown of thorns in a sense? Coming at a time when there's no unity, let's face it, that's a fact.
No, the unity is there. See, as a congressman, everybody feels that Congress must come.
So in the past we saw, even before the assembly elections, Mr. K.V. Thangavalo, there were effigies burnt even before elections. There were people who challenged his leadership. Most people wanted him out.
No, that is wrong. At that time itself I condemned that because the burning effigy, coming to the Bhavan and then damaging the property, all those things are not acceptable and that should not happen at all.
But they happened.
I condemn those. At that time itself I have condemned.
What do you feel about the alliance with the DMK? What do the average Congress workers, what do you think they want?
No, there is an alliance in existence. They are our great friends in central and they are supporting us, the government. And therefore there is an alliance with the DMK. There is no change in it.
You see this lasting till 2014?
See, I am here as a president. I have assumed office yesterday. And all this question of alliance, all these things are decided by the Congress president and the Congress party.
What is your personal take? I mean, you're a person known for your individualism and your own independent mind.
No, I have an independent mind in running the party.
Okay.
But as far as these alliances are concerned, whatever Madam Gandhi decides, whatever the party decides, I have to implement it faithfully.
But as a Rajya Sabha MP, as somebody who's an old timer in the Congress, what do you think the Congress rank and file want to see in terms of the alliance with the DMK?
No, what they feel.
Because there were others like Mr. EVK Selangovan who believed that you should snap ties with the DMK. There were very strong words used by Mr. Ilangovan.
No, that is why what I feel that the party must take the opinion of all. And I should not echo the independent view of myself. I have to take the opinion of everybody, and whatever stand they take, that stand will be the stand of the Congress party. So I have to take the opinion to everybody and sit together and then work for the welfare of the party. One thing I am very definite. Madam Gandhi in Trichy addressed the meeting of workers. She said that we respect alliance. But at the same time, the identity of the Congress party must be maintained. So my endeavor in this period will be to see that Congress party as a party works for the people, cadres are encouraged, meetings are held, and then central schemes has to be propagated in the villages and see that there is a revival of the Congress force in Tamil Nadu.
Okay. And towards that end of a revival of the Congress force in Tamil Nadu, you've spoken about a vision document.
Yeah.
What is your vision for 2014?
Now, my vision is to see that the Congress has not lost its fervor. The Congress workers...
Has it lost its fervor now?
No. Congress has not lost the fervor. The Congress workers as such, they are very enthusiastic. Can you imagine a political party 43 years out of power in Tamil Nadu? Still the party is very strong and party workers are strong.
No, there's no doubt that Mr. Gnana Desikan's appointment has enthused the cadre, that they are happy that there's somebody who's acceptable to all. There was a lot of heartburn when Thangabalu was at the helm. There's a fact, he himself has admitted it. But personally, were you happy with the DMK's decision to go it alone in the civic body polls? Almost a unilateral decision, that's what Congress insiders say.
No, as a political party, it is their prerogative to take the decision and appropriate time. So Kalaignar thought that Panchayat elections, the DMK will go alone. And therefore Congress also has to go alone. That is then Kalaignar has already said it is for the Panchayat only. So it is the prerogative of a political party to take a decision, and they have taken a decision.
Do you believe that was a good decision, sir?
No, in politics there is no good or bad in any decision.
In hindsight, was it a good decision?
No, it is a good or bad, there is no, politics there is no such things. According to the given situation, in an appropriate time, decisions are taken. Sometimes it is good, sometimes it is bad.
Okay. What about the decision to, many say, extract more seats from the DMK in the run-up to the assembly elections? You contested 63 seats but managed to win only 5. Why do you think that happened? Do you think that the DMK workers didn't work for Congress candidates?
No, see, always I feel, whether we win or lose, we must have the same, we have to take a common stand. Suppose we win, the credit is given to Congress party. And if you lose, I don't want to blame the DMK. So whether it is a loss, we have to share. If we win also, we have to share. We can't bifurcate and say, because we lost to the DMK. I don't agree with that theory.
Okay, but you're being very politically correct in this interview. Is this your avatar as a spokesperson coming into play here?
I don't know. I don't know.
No, but on a more candid note, 5 out of 63.
Yeah.
Is that something you expected, or that came as a huge shock to the Congress?
No, frankly speaking, because I always speak frankly, I expected some below 10.
Okay.
It has come to 5.
Okay, so you're a little disappointed.
Yeah, between below 9 and 5, I don't think it is much difference. But I know during the election campaign itself, because I was 2 weeks I was campaigning.
What was the singular factor that contributed to the almost debacle?
There are several factors. Anti-incumbency is there. And
2G?
No, 2G is not the issue at all.
Not an issue, but most people said they voted on the basis of that. Corruption is a big issue.
No, corruption is not an issue at all. Because I feel that 2G is the Supreme Court which is monitoring. There is nothing to do with the political parties as such. Suppose the individual ministers, they are involved in something. That doesn't mean the political party is involved in it.
But they are part of the alliance.
No, even DMK I am telling. Suppose a minister from DMK is made an allegation. It is only an allegation. Only when the court convicts him, he becomes a convict. Until the court proceedings are over, a person is considered to be an innocent. That is a basic criminal law.
No, as a lawyer, of course, you know criminal jurisprudence and all that, but there's also 437 of the CRPC. Why do you think Kanimuni then is still in jail without getting bail? 4 applications have been shot down.
But see, I can't comment on what the judge has decided.
The DMK believes the Congress is not helping Chalai in getting bail. There's a lot of discontent.
No. I don't think that DMK is very mature leaders are there. They know the court proceedings and they know what is the court and judges' decisions. They never blamed Congress party for that. It is not a correct statement. It is the court which decided. If you ask me personally, Krishna Iyer once said, bail is a rule and jail is an exception. I think that ought to have been followed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you feel Kanimuri then should have got bail?
Yes, definitely, because when charge sheet is filed, there is no need to keep her. Why?
Why do you think the CBI also has not opposed her bail? Why do you think she has been denied bail?
No, that's what I said. It is for the judicial decision. I cannot comment on what the judge has said. It is a judicial act. But outside, as a person, so a political person, as a lawyer, as a senior lawyer, I can say that as Krishna Iyer said, is a bail is the rule and jail is an exception, and they should have given bail. Yes.
Now the Supreme Court has said that they will formulate new guidelines to deal with, to regulate bail in high profile cases. Do you think, and also the judge has also made a distinction between upper crust and lower crust, that she belongs to the upper crust and therefore cannot be said that she was, that she should get some consideration being a woman. Do you subscribe to that theory?
No.
A distinction between upper crust and lower crust?
No, everybody is equal in law. Everybody is in equal law. See, there is a concept in bail that you will tamper with evidence. And if you are more powerful and more rich, the chances are more. Those days, that was the reason for not granting bail for the influential persons. But that theory has no value because the tampering when evidences and all, everybody can do. So I don't think that cannot be a correct position.
All right. We'll slide it to a short break now on Corridors of Power. When we return, we'll ask Mr. Nyana Desikan also about Rahul Gandhi's efforts to revive the Youth Congress here in Tamil Nadu and the road ahead. Stay tuned.